What's up, everybody? Our boy Steve took a little field trip this past week. We're going to discuss it next.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday evening, 3 June. It's June already, fellas. Welcome to 3 June. We're going to live stream this joint. We're going to talk about camp, OTAs. We were lucky enough to catch an invite from the Washington Commanders to attend OTAs. It's been pretty cool because they broke it out. Last week, there was some media at the first round of OTAs. I think it was more of workout-ish stuff. But the following week, after Memorial Day weekend on Tuesday, they opened it up to content creators. It was pretty awesome. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, it was opened up to season ticket holders and then different varying categories of that. So it was pretty damn cool. I can't lie. I'd never been to Redskins Park, Commanders Park before. It was pretty cool. And if you haven't already done so, please go check out the little mini vlog we threw together for the event. And I think it'll be good.
You got a little interference.
Interference?
Yeah, it's like a.
Well, it would probably help if I actually turn the.
There you go, man.
There we go. Inside baseball, people. I shot Steve.
Nobody's watching right now because my actual microphone was not on. It was my laptop microphone. StreamYard, we love you.
Of live YouTube.
That's live. That's live video for you. You know, you think you're talking and everything, but we'll start with the thumbnail. So the thumbnail talked about Norv. Norv Turner's back at camp, and personally, I saw him out there. I saw the back of him. He was kind of tied to Scott's hip. They both had a playbook in their hands. He was really mostly just talking to his son. But what I didn't know, I guess Norv has been present in the past at these OTAs with Scott. I had no clue, no idea. And so I just thought it was pretty cool to see, father, son, and Norv was a beast. Norv was a great offensive coordinator. Maybe not so much a coach, but he was definitely a great offensive coordinator. And Phil, you probably know this better than anybody. I don't know how much Scott's offense resembles Norv's yet, or what are the varying differences. I mean, I know it's supposed to be Air Coryell, but I don't know exactly how much they vary in nature.
It's hard to say because we haven't had a quarterback who's built for the Air Coryell. That at least has played consistently, throughout a season. Taylor Heineke doesn't have the Air Coryell arm. He's better suited to be a West Coast type quarterback. Lots of slants and things like that. The types of passes his arm can actually reach, and he can still manage to overthrow the receiver. But you need a big arm quarterback to make an Air Coryell offense go. The thing is that the Air Coryell is a deep read. You read deep first. You go deep, middle, short. All right. That's why if you ever watch the Gibbs teams, which everybody talks about Gibbs having a power running offense, we ran an Air Coryell pass offense, right? We always had a big arm quarterback that was made that offense go. Now he changed that the second go around a little bit to accommodate Mark Brunell, but Brunell could still get the ball down there. He just didn't have the most velocity on it. But Theismann had a really strong arm. Y'all forget that. Jay Schrader had a really strong arm. Too strong at times, actually. Doug Williams had a strong arm. Mark Rippon had a strong arm. These are all guys who get the ball deep, and that's important in an Air Coryell offense. All right? Gus Frerotte, for all of his limited talents, did have a pretty strong arm himself, actually. I've actually gone back and watched a lot of the mid-90s Redskins games and watched that offense go during this past offseason. I've watched many of them. Farrah could get the ball down there. So we're going to get to see if this offense truly has Air Coryell type of reads and routes and packages, because of the fact that we have a quarterback now. We have two quarterbacks, really, but we have a starting quarterback who has a cannon of an arm, who can get the ball downfield and can push it. Because otherwise, if you don't have that component, the offense becomes very impotent. And we've seen that. We saw it with Alex Smith. We saw it with Taylor Heineke.
Hey, first and foremost, let's take the opportunity to recognize Dev in his new fly jersey, man. Let me see that joint. Commanders, black. What? John Allen, right? Yeah, 93. Man.
I'm going to see that might be. I'm getting a John Allen jersey from old Marcus Davis because he owes it to me. But I'm not going to do like Dev. I'm going to get an official one from Fansided or whoever from NFL Shop.
You're gonna make him get the good one.
I got mine. I tried to get mine from Fanside, and man, they put my shit back like 3 different times. I said, you know what? They don't want $140 something, man. So I went to China and I got like 8 jerseys for that price. So
supply chain,
right? Fuck them. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
you can't
Marcus,
beat them. If you can't beat them, bootleg them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying not to support the Chi-Coms at all costs,
man.
Marcus Edlin, thanks for joining. He says, hey, fellas, I love your Tuesday post, but I'm giving Scott Turner more of a benefit than a doubt than Jack Del Rio's schemes who need to blitz more. Yeah, we talked about this. Was it last episode or the week before where, and we'll talk about that here in a second. You want to see more from Jack. We're going to come back to this, Marcus, because I want to concentrate on defense at the end here. We'll bring this back up.
Marcus.
But starting with the offense. Well, first off, starting with the spread. The spread was great. They had a tent. They had, breakfast buffet. Very, very normal. Nothing crazy. All the water, cold water was out there. Some juice, tea, coffee, fruit. It was very nice. The team was awesome. And the individual drills were off to the left on the turf field over there. So they had Logan Thomas out there. They had Deron Payne, and then they also had Chase Young out there. But we were specifically told we cannot film over there. We cannot film those guys doing drills for whatever reason. It was just team policy. A few of the other creators were live tweeting, and they're like, "Hey, delete that tweet!" Like they were twatching. I don't know what you want to call it. They were stalking Twitter, and they did not want anyone live tweeting. It was pretty funny. But all the other content creators out there it was really good to see everyone finally in person. And then we moved to the sideline and watched some individual drills. And excuse me, didn't want to sneeze on microphone. Hey, but let's just start with the quarterbacks. So quarterbacks, it was of course Carson Wentz taking most of the reps. Taylor Heineke taking second amount of reps, and followed by Sam Howell and then Cole Turner. And real quick, we'll go back to Ref the District. Love Ref the District. Got to see Nathan and Trev out there. Sorry, Sterling didn't get to make it, but welcome to the show, fellas. What do you think of the ban on tweeting? Yeah, I don't understand it, especially looking at the guys doing drills. They came out and said we couldn't tweet. We could only use our phones during certain periods, and that was when they were doing individual drills like passing and running and blocking and throwing and catching. When they were starting to do game plan install, we had to turn our phones off, and they came by and they were, super strict about it. But nothing we saw was like, oh yeah, now that's the keys to the castle, and now we're going to be able to destroy the Washington Commanders. It wasn't even like that. So yeah, I was a little bummed. I didn't really like it. I know Nathan has his opinion. Now we're content creators. We're out there to create content. but all we can do is film some, practice drills. But
I get it, because look, this is a franchise that's had an awful issue with sometimes giving out too much.
Yeah, that's fair. So
I think it's better. It's like, hey, look, guys, we brought you out here. We don't want to show the game, and we don't want to show you actual game plan stuff. We don't want it leaking now. We don't, these teams are already going to have enough film as it is. Don't give them anything extra this early. I get it, and it sucks, but it makes sense. And at the same time, they're really opening up a lot to content creators. We as content creators can't complain too much. They're giving us a lot more access than we've had in the past.
Don't burn that bridge. Can't burn that bridge. I will obey, even if I don't want to. I will comply.
And what is it worth? What really, as a Commander's content creator, as a podcaster, whatever you want to call yourself, what do you gain except for a few extra followers by doing that?
I mean, there was quite a few people who were curious as to, hey, tell us what it's like, what's going on, and how does this guy look at, like, how does Jahan look against live, defenders, stuff like that. And I mean, not even just pictures, not video, like not even text. They didn't want people writing texts. So you know what? It's policy. I get it. You don't want to burn bridges.
It's their first year doing it. It's their first year doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll revisit this in the future. But
why don't you tell us, Steve, how that stuff went?
How all what stuff went?
How was the one-on-one? How was the one-on-one drills? Oh, I got you. I see what you did there. But I'm talking about the one-on-one drills and all that.
No, the one-on-ones were great. That's in the mini vlog. You can check that out. So for the quarterbacks, Carson's huge. I just want to say that first and foremost. That dude is massive compared to the other quarterbacks. It's like he towers over Taylor. It's crazy, but
I swear to God, him and Taylor look like they're going to a father-son dinner whenever they stand next to each other.
The caveat to that is that Sam Howell is Taylor's height exactly, and he also, he also is short. And then we love Sam Howell. We want him to be our future QB1. The height is not there, but I will say the arm strength. The arm is there. That ball just flies off of Taylor's hand. I forget who it was. I don't know if it was LE. Shout out to LE Declassified, or if it was even Retha Dishik who posted it about the spin rate off of the quarterback's hands for all the rookies last year. And Sam Howell was like number one. I didn't even know you could measure that, like revolutions. I know you can measure for bowling.
You can.
You can measure for bowling, but he had the number one spin rate. The ball just flicks. And then we had that fourth QB. Cole Turner, dude's I think he's taller than Carson, just tall and lanky, but I think he's going to be the camp body. Who knows? Ref the district there. Our listeners watching get 100% of their info from content creators, and that's a newer trend, especially as the fans of this team are starting to become a little bit disenfranchised with local media because of their negative spin on a lot of things,
as they should.
So I think that's why a lot of people are leaning more on content creators to get content, because some of us, especially other people besides us, have a lot of access.
Are you more of the podcast or radio? Which one do you prefer?
Me, I used to be a super huge into podcasting, listening to podcasts, listening to everyone's podcast. My commute's a little shorter now, so I don't really have time. So I listen to more radio than I do podcasts. And when I do listening to podcasts, it's really just maybe one or two of the real ones, like Keimer, JP, and the rest. I'm just listening to the other content creators talk, because it's I just like listening to other content creators in the Commanders community. That's just me personally.
I would say there's only two radio guys I listen to, and I listen to their podcasts. I listen to Goldie and I listen to Sheehan.
Yeah.
Other than that, the rest is. The rest of them, it's either they live to stir the pot for their own ratings, junkies, or they bloviate to death.
Just like donkeys or the H word.
Junkies.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I like the junkies, man. I'm because they vary from topic to topic, and I figure that's kind of like
junkies. Let's be real. The junkies were great when they weren't doing sports. Yeah. All right. When they're doing, sundress silly parties and all that. That's when I like the junkies. When they were more in the line with like a Don and Mike or an Opie and Anthony.
See, I'm just now getting into the junkies, man. I don't really know them even apart. That's how little I listen to them. I'm not from.
I'll tell you this right now. Lurch is an asshole in real life. Like,
is that the one that likes baseball? I guess it's one that likes baseball a whole lot.
I think he's a Niners fan too. I think he's a Niners fan. Well, I don't want to get. I don't want to
He's
get.
also an elitist. He
We're
thinks
getting
he
too far off
lives-
track with. Now we're talking about 106.7 The Fan.
I can knock the junkies all day.
Let's
I
get
can
back.
knock Lurch all day. I can't stand that dude. I don't like JP. Bickle, I'm okay
Well, I
with.
like JP. I like the junkies, man. I guess
I like them too. It's
Yeah.
they balance well. So let's get back to
Sheen's
camp.
better.
The quarterbacks. All right, quarterbacks zipping balls around. They look pretty good. A couple overthrows. Taylor had some pretty high throws as usual.
Golly.
That's our quarterback room. Nothing looked too crazy. Carson and Sam Howell, the ball just. I mean, Carson's got a gun. It's so refreshing to see it. I cannot wait for him to do it. And what they did was they started the quarterbacks out with the running backs.
You getting the Wentz jersey, Steve?
If he resigns, you know what? I'm a big fan of getting T-shirts these days.
I ordered one from
They're
China.
not as expensive.
I ordered one from China. That thing will probably last as long as Wentz does.
Yeah. Marcus listened to B. Mitch and Finley at work. I listened to them on the radio during my
I like B. Mitch and Finley too.
Lunchtime. Hey, what's up, Greg? Welcome. Greg says I am.
G.
Big fan. What's up, Greg? Yeah, jerseys are tough, man. Especially, I would get a John Allen jersey because he just resigned. You know, I still
That's
have
one
on
of
my
the reasons
old
why I'm
jerseys.
getting the John Allen jersey off of Marcus Davis.
I never got rid of my RG3 jerseys though. I still have my Sean Taylor's RG3s.
Me too.
Gave my Jason Campbell to my mom. She loves it.
I had a long sleeve Cooley jersey, and I broke up with this girl. She burned it.
I have 3 jerseys.
Damn.
I have a Portis.
I deserved it.
I have a Cooley, and I have an Alfred Morris.
There you go. Good ones.
I got a Doug Williams and I just got one recently. I thought I sent you a picture of it. I forgot who it was.
I need to get hold of a classic looking like Joe Jacoby jersey or a Jim Lachey or something. I need a Hogs jersey.
Yeah. I need a Thosman long sleeve jersey. That's what I want. Ooh, speaking of Thosman, yesterday, and I don't know why I never remember this. My girlfriend, while smoking the devil's lettuce, says to me, "Hey man, you know what I haven't seen in a long time?" I said, "What's that?" American Gladiator. And guess who the fucking host was?
Joe Theismann.
Joe Theismann. I don't know why I never remembered that.
Laser Turbo.
Yeah,
he was a host in the first season.
First season, the first episode. We started episode 1.
The first season, it was Theismann, and then they went to Larry Zonka because I think Theismann then went to doing Sunday Night Football with ESPN.
Greg says he's getting either Wentz or Dotson jersey. Dotson's the first Commander draft pick. So let's.
I hate that phrasing.
He's also number 1. So I got 2 autographs out there of the little ticket we got. I got Coach Jennifer King because that's awesome. I love Jennifer King. I got her autograph, and then I got Jahan Dotson's autograph. Those are the only 2 autographs I really like. The rest I got photos. I'm a big photo person.
What did they autograph?
When you get there, you got this like piece of paper on a string, and you just had to either put it on your wrist or your pants or whatever, and it just says Commanders and event pass. That's all it was. So they autographed that. It was pretty cool.
I still have mine from
camp,
training camp last year.
Yeah,
with the VIP and all that.
Running backs look great. McKissick, man, new number 23, looks shifty. I know he didn't have a lower body injury.
He's number 1 now, right?
No, that's Dotson. McKissick used to be 41. 41 is now Jonathan Williams. And McKissick is now on 23. So it's a little confusing at first, but they give you
I actually kind of like that because McKissick, I think numbers in the 40s should go to big backs, full backs, power backs. They should not go to shifty little speed backs. So I like that McKissick went to a 20. I think it's more fitting for his style running, but that's just like old school football in me.
Yep.
Like, Riggins wore 44.
Yeah. Hard nose.
Other big backs, they wear 30s and 40s numbers. They don't wear 20s.
Tanks. Yep. And they were doing a bunch of drills, agility drills, nothing crazy. They're doing a bunch of catch and traffic drills. You can see it on the vlog. Brian Robinson, my gosh, dude is massive. He kind of reminds me of the stature of Leonard Fournette, if you know what I mean. Ooh. Very tall and built like
an Alabama running back, like an
Alabama running back. Yeah, not the Trent Richardson type, the ones that are taller. He's much taller.
Built solid too, though.
But he was short.
Yeah, he was short, but he was built.
So you're saying Brian Robinson got like thighs for days?
He does, man. He got telephone poles for thighs, and it's exciting. He's gonna be good. So that's the running backs. Tight ends. Listen, I love tight ends. It's my second favorite position besides quarterback.
To tight ends, bro.
Hey, tight ends. Every time they were doing the tight ends lineup with the quarterbacks, Carson Wentz was throwing to John Bates and Cole Turner. Almost nobody else. Every time they reset the routes, it was Bates, Turner, Bates, Turner, Bates, Turner. Everyone else was getting the other one. So it was Samus, Antonio Gandy Golden. They were all getting reps with Taylor, Sam, and Cole Kelly. Carson was throwing to John Bates and Cole Turner. And let me tell you, Cole Turner looks the part. I am so excited to watch Cole Turner. I don't know what's going to happen with the tight end room, man.
What's crazy is that you have two really big, pure tight ends. One's more of a receiver. One's more of a blocker, but has hands.
Yeah.
Cole Turner can shore up some of his blocking. He's not the greatest blocker. He's a guy.
No.
Here's the thing. He's not afraid to get physical. He's just not a great blocker, but he's willing to put his body in front of somebody. So that's
plus you can split him out.
He's giving me Jordan Reed vibes when I watch him play. It's because he's not like muscles everywhere. He's kind of tall. He's kind of skinny. I'm getting like Jordan Reed vibes a little bit. It's exciting. Marcus says, the more I research him, the more I think Cole Turner is going to be a steal.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible, man. Cole, I'm so happy we got him. I can't remember what round we picked him in. Was it the fourth or sixth, fifth? I can't remember. Fifth. Okay. He's going to be amazing. And so, Logan, take your time. No, there's no rush to bring Logan back, although he looked pretty good on the field. But I think
you think he's a candidate for PUP or
Logan? Yeah, I think if they're smart, I would put him on PUP.
PUP for the first 6 weeks. That's way to go.
Remember, he tore his ACL in December, if I remember correctly. So it's towards the latter half of the year. I mean,
everybody thinks ACLs you can come back fast from them.
Yeah,
unless you're Adrian Peterson, you cannot.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson is the only one who can do it. Nobody.
But ever since then, everyone for about a decade there, it seemed tried to rush him back.
Scary.
Now getting away from that again.
I know, right? It's crazy. So yeah, tight ends look great. I saw Cole Turner drop one, but it was during the routes. But it was a high and away. It was hard. So getting onto the wide receiver group, there was no Terry, of course. Terry's dealing with his contract situation. So the guy was Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel. They were the guys out there, and they were catching everything. And I will say, if you check out the vlog halfway through, I didn't want to amplify it. I could have made some sound effects. It could have been funny, but Carson zipped this. It was probably a 15-yard flag route, inside post, whatever you want to call it. And he took it right off the face mask. Dunk, dunk, dunk. I replayed it twice.
Who did?
Jahan Dotson. But that was it. Other than that, he still stole a show at OTAs when we were there. He caught
remember Dotson's
75-yard bomb.
Dotson, much like the rest of our receivers, not used to a quarterback who has an arm.
Yeah. I mean, who was at Penn State throwing the ball last year? Who was throwing the ball?
State.
Who was it?
At Penn State?
Yeah.
Sean Clifford.
And before that, it was
Trace
McSorley. Yeah, went to the Jets.
McSorley was a couple years ago. Dotson didn't really get to play with McSorley. He played with Clifford. Clifford, it was like imagine Taylor Heineke, the college version, and I don't mean.
Yeah, I watched his.
I mean D1.
I watched his ODU film.
College
Taylor.
was dope.
Pretty good. Yeah, he could.
Yeah. College. I wish we had college Heineke. You tripping?
But when was the last time Penn State had a good quarterback? I don't know.
Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins.
Did Achilles Smith? No, he went to what's the name? Didn't he?
He went to Oregon.
Ohio State, right?
No, Achilles Smith was Oregon. He was the beginning of that trend of awful Oregon quarterbacks.
Yeah. Marcus said that's right. Penn State quarterbacks were terrible. They are. But
none of them can have none of them can crack 50% completion percentage.
Jahan looks great. You have nothing to worry about. The plays we saw him make, especially during the game plan installs and stuff, I think we're going to be happy we got him where we got him at, and we're not going to be upset that we didn't get a Drake London like me or Garrett Wilson or Olave or Kyle Hamilton. Well, I'm going to say receivers right now, but he's making plays. He's so fast and so smooth. He looks almost just like another version of Terry McLaurin. It's crazy.
He carries himself like a superstar already. Like, you ever see superstars when they practice, they're loose, they're kind of slouchy, all that.
Terry, bro.
Well, I will tell you that only 3 people went to every person to sign autographs or pictures. Only 3. The rest walked, and the policy was they'll stop if you ask them to. 3 people. I'll let you guess. Can you guess?
Carson Wentz.
Jahan Dotson. Terry McLaurin.
Jahan Dotson.
Coach
Ron Rivera.
No.
Terry McLaurin. Jonathan Allen.
Those are the only 3 guys who literally stopped at every person to take a picture, to sign. I mean, everyone else was friendly. Don't get me wrong, but
Did anybody not stop?
Oh, a lot of people didn't stop. The policy was if you don't ask them, they're just going to keep walking. That's what they told us. So it was hot, man. We were dying just sitting there. They had just been through a 2.5-hour practice. I wouldn't have wanted to sign autographs either. I want to get my ass back in the air conditioning. So I understand. So for them to just stop, say hi, fist bump, it was pretty awesome. I appreciate that. Roger Smith, welcome to the show, brother. He says, so if Curtis is running crisp routes and catching balls, makes no sense using him like Debo. Give that position to Gibby, let B-Rob be the bell cow, and put them all on the field. That's a good point. It's a good point. Now, I will say, Roger, that when we were looking at the plays they were running, I can't describe all the plays because I don't know them, but they still had a ton of motion. And it was Curtis in motion almost every time.
Yeah.
So
he still used them on the jet sweeps and things
which
like
one of
that.
those receivers are you taking off the field, though? Like, maybe they trade McLaurin, man.
No. So this is a good segue into another conversation. So we talked about this last week on the show about the wide receiver room. So I'm going to tell you right now, last week, guys, it was pretty easy. Terry, Curtis, Jahan. Jahan and Curtis, 2A, 2B. But that 4th wide receiver, I said it was going to be Cam Sims. After watching practice,
Harmon.
After watching practice, I think it might be De'Ami Brown. I thought it was going to be Cam Sims.
But Cam's played a lot of slot too, though.
Yeah, but De'Ami Brown looks really good, man. He got also a ton of balls from Carson Wentz. Don't get me wrong. Cam looked great. Kelvin Harmon looked almost back to his old self. But it's a good problem to have. But that's 6 wide receivers. You're not keeping them all. Roger Smith's next comment said, mix and match outside. We have a plethora of speed and running backs and wide receivers, so the defense don't know if it's a run or pass. Even have 12 personnel. That's absolutely right, man. You could put 5 receivers and then running back and split them out. You could run 6 wide.
I'm 100% going to do it in Madden. So y'all play in Madden. Everybody's going to be on the field, bro.
Yes, you absolutely could. It's a great.
Not everybody. Everybody.
But you could do that with Gibson and McKissick. That's 2 wide receivers, former wide receivers, anyways. So absolutely, it's a mismatch. It's a linebacker mismatch. You can't check it. Doesn't matter who's outside too much speed. So yeah, I am changing my opinion on De'Ami Brown. I thought he was going to be. I thought because we have Jahan and Curtis healthy, you don't need the guy who can just fly. But no, De'Ami Brown caught a long bomb too, and so did Jahan Dotson, and he just looked good. I don't know. Yep, Marcus says, I've been posting his workouts. De'Ami Brown's been impressive, but Kelvin Harmon's going to be a wild card. He looks healthy. I will say he looks healthy. Man, and we talked about this before. If Kelvin Harmon makes the team, a little bit of a Reed Dowdy status. He just keeps finding ways to get back on this team and make a roster.
Here's
the thing: he's better than Reed Dowdy was.
I agree. Hey, Troy Apke's cool, man.
Who are you cutting for Harmon? Who are you cutting for Harmon?
That's what I'm talking about. Like, these are the things that you have to consider if you're going to do that. Now, I think Marcus posted it before that the NFL put out the rules for for rosters. So it's the same COVID rules as last year. If I can find it, I'll pull it up. But thank you, Marcus, for saying that.
But don't you still have to cut them in order to get them back to put on that list?
No, you don't.
Initially, right?
That's the old rules. That's the old rules. With COVID rules, it's all different.
You can keep them from offset right after camp ends. You can keep.
Yeah,
them.
It's.
Okay, I didn't know if they had to be off of your 53 and then you have to bring them back. I know that, and then you get to keep one. I didn't know if that's how it worked.
Yeah, they increased the size this year again. It's insane. But I'll pull it up here in a second.
So, is it? Are we going to continue to call it COVID rules, or are these going to be monkeypox rules? Or
you know what? That's a good question, Phil. We probably shouldn't call it COVID rules, although they're just calling it. They were forced to be creative during the COVID-19 pandemic, and they continue to use the same the same techniques. I don't know. You make a good.
I just wanted to use monkeypox as a sentence. Go on.
Why don't they just put 55-man rosters on the team?
What, 2 more people?
Yeah, put them on a roster. It makes more sense.
Actually, the idea to go to like a 45 active, 55 roster, there's been a lot of calls for that in the past few years, and I think this is their way of doing it without doing it. You know what I mean?
Don't want to pay.
And it'll just become the norm, and okay, we're just going to keep it this way. I don't know why it's such a big deal.
Is there still 2 injured reserves where like you can go into reserve twice?
All right, let's bring it up right here. This is from the NFLPA. All right, check it out. Let's give it a second. Yeah, that's really hard to see. I apologize.
I thought I was old.
I know. I'm gonna stop sharing that. I'm just gonna read it to you. So this is what the NFL is saying about the practice squad changes. So for the NFL League 2022 year, they took the same 2020 guidance and just slashed it out and wrote 2022. No bullshit. And you can have a maximum of 10 free agent players per club who have earned more than 2 accrued seasons. That used to be 4. No limitation as to the number of games on the game day active list in either of those seasons. And the next rule is a practice squad player may be elevated to a club's inactive list for a maximum of 3 games instead of 2. So normally, if you brought him up twice, you got to keep him. Now you can bring him up 3 times. That's pretty cool. I like that. And so yeah, that's the rules, man. I'm glad to see that they're actually sticking to it because we're still seeing a little bit of COVID here and there, but I don't think they call it the COVID rules anymore. I don't like that they call it COVID rules. So, and it's 12 people on the practice squad, but previous years were 12. Now it's 16 people, 16 practice squad slots. And then it's also opened up to veterans as well that you can secure. So it's much better. Big fan. So Josh Kirby, hey, our boy Josh Kirby, we had him on before. Kirby on Sports, go check him out. Got to see Josh hanging out at the OTAs as well. What's up,
looking
Josh?
Like he was looking like Carson next to a lot of y'all.
Yeah, Josh. Let me tell you what, Josh is tall. Josh is very tall in person, just like Carson is very tall. Josh is tall in person. I will tell you, Josh towers over me. I feel like he should be a center on a basketball team somewhere. Josh, you should be playing basketball.
What are you sipping on, Steve? The bourbon?
I'm sipping on some Four Roses small batch tonight. A little bit of bourbon. A little bit of bourbon. Marcus said he's going to post the rules again. Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate it. Okay, so we talked about some tight ends. We talked about Wide receivers, yeah. So who do you guys think are going to be the odd man out? I don't. Will they keep 6? 6 is not normal. You can keep 6 as long as that 6th person is a special teamer for sure. Phil,
Bye, Dax.
yeah.
Bye, Dax Milne.
I mean, you could put him
Well,
on.
Dax is a special teamer though.
He
Dax
is.
got the same stats as De'Ami Brown.
Do you see why this is difficult? So De'Ami can play specials. Cam can play specials. I don't know if Kelman is a teams guy.
He's not, but Cam is. So that's why I think Cam makes it over Dax. If Kelvin looks as good in camp as he did in what I saw at OTAs, and what every word out about OTAs has been, is that Kelvin Harmon's been the best receiver at OTAs overall. So why not?
That's OTAs, man.
And that also gives you one more bigger body possession type receiver that you can use on a 3rd and 6. Right.
And these are all way too early predictions, but whatever.
Obviously, but I'm just throwing out. I mean, I'm just saying, if OTAs are an indication, which they may or may not be, Harmon's going to be on the roster over Dax Milne. They like Dax, but obviously they're giving Kelvin Harmon every opportunity to try and make this team.
Yeah, true story.
And Kelvin Harmon hasn't played in a couple of years.
Nope.
But he did have 30 catches in an offense that did not throw the ball particularly well. That was the same year that Terry went out there and had under 60 catches. And we all were like, oh, my God, look at Terry. And he led the team in catches. Kelvin Harmon had 30, 20 down the stretch with Dwayne Haskins throwing the ball. Rookie Dwayne.
He did.
So these are things you have to consider, is that if he's talented enough to do that, imagine what he could do with a good quarterback. That's what that's what makes evaluating receivers from past seasons so hard. We haven't had consistency at the quarterback position.
I ain't gonna lie, Phil. I ain't gonna lie. I had Harmon off the team until you just made this speech, man, about don't be surprised. You know what? You're right. He was pretty fucking good before he got fucked up.
He made a couple of one-hand catches because Haskins was a very high thrower as well, right?
And it takes about a year, and plus he got hurt, and plus he got hurt in the middle of the season. So
he's what is he? NC State, SC State? I can't remember.
He was NC State.
NC State.
I watched Kelvin Harmon at training camp his rookie year absolutely smoke, and I mean in way he went one-on-one with Josh Norman, who is not a cover corner. I get it, but Norman was a veteran and just absolutely smoked his boots in a way that a 5th-round rookie should not be doing to a former Pro Bowl corner.
Yeah,
and I saw him do it. And that's what sold me, because everybody said that Harmon was a 2nd, 3rd round talent that we got in the 5th round. And I thought, well, why did he drop to the 5th then if he's so good? And then I said, well, I don't care if he dropped to the 5th. Look what he just did. And that's why I've been on that train ever since. And he turned out not to be a burner. Terry was the burner. He was the possession guy. I thought there was going to be the opposite, where he'd be the burner and Terry's would do all the underneath stuff. Turned out that we're going to do the opposite. I think, look, Jahan Dotson can return kicks, right? Curry Samuel can return kicks. Danny Johnson can return kicks. We re-signed Danny Johnson.
McKenzie can return kicks.
Yeah, he can. I've never seen him do it.
I thought he did.
He looks like he can return kicks.
I thought he did the Lions. Why be tripping?
Maybe he did. I don't know. I don't remember him ever doing it, but we have guys who can return kicks. Do we need to keep Dax Milne to return kicks as well? If we could get a better receiver, a bigger receiver, a more physical receiver, someone who can make that, 6-yard slant, get that big body in front of a corner and make the catch for the first down. I mean, I don't care if Kelvin Harmon's a 20, 25 catch guy the rest of his career. If he does it in the clutch, that's what I care about. Give me guys like that who make plays in the clutch. And damn it, my thing is all out of focus.
Okay. I'm hoping. I think I got pretty high expectations for Samuels, man. I always thought he was a good receiver.
Yeah.
Not only I thought he was a tremendously good football player on top of it. Kind of like you said, in maybe a great value version of Deebo Samuels kind of mode, And to be real honest, he's probably a better receiver than him. I mean, even though that's
Roger says, Terry, Deuce, Jahan, Curtis, Cam, Harmon. By Deuce, he means Deami. That's his Twitter handle. Return is going to be Erickson, probably keeping 3 tight ends. Woo. Erickson.
Man, I think we keep 4 tight ends because I think Thomas is going to start on the injury reserve or some.
I don't think they let go of Samus just because of the story, and you can secure him on the practice squad, and you can't teach that physical ability. Hey, in person, Phil, I know you don't want to hear this. Man, AGG is a monster, dude. I'm just talking physical stature. Yeah, he did great catching all the balls that were thrown his way in the tight end group. But he still looks a little lean to be a tight end, man. He looks,
George Mearson was a physical monster too.
Yes,
he averaged about 6 points a game.
7'7", George Mearson on the Washington Bullets.
He won
That's
some
right.
games for y'all though.
You did. Oh, I used to love Mearson, man. Mearson,
I did too, but let's not act like he is
Michael Adams,
Sean Bradley,
Calbert Chaney, Scott Skiles, Mark Price.
Are you talking about Washington players?
Washington Bullets.
Hold on.
You guys.
You act like those guys are the reason why they were winning and not Juwan Howard,
Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. All the Hall of Famers that we had at one point.
Y'all drafted Dr. J when he was in the ABA.
Yeah.
I found this out. So in the ABA, the last time
that Iceman Gervin.
Listen to this. I heard this fact. This is an amazing fact for y'all. If the Commanders moved to Virginia, it would be the first major professional sports franchise in the state of Virginia since the Virginia Squires of the ABA.
That's what I was telling you. Virginia drafted Dr. J.
They drafted Dr. J.
And George Iceman Gervin.
And they had Dr. J and the Iceman on the same roster.
I literally just told you that before you said
I found this out the other day.
Hey, play the David Hayter thing, man. I literally just I'm the one that's high right now. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I literally just said, hey, y'all had
I know, but I was in the middle of going into that, and you said it. You burned me. You beat me to the punch, Dev.
Yeah.
And then he got traded to the Nets, and then the NBA happened.
Marcus says, we have great speed. Samuel, Brown, McLaurin, Dotson, McKissick, Gibson. We can spread teams out and have a lot of mismatches. Yeah. Hey, Gibson looks healthy too, man. Very shifty. It's good to see him in pure form. This will be Phil, what, year 3 for him?
Phil. Yeah. Did you also know that Squire Stadium is where they played at, and there's a semi-pro hockey team that still plays in the stadium?
I swear to God, you listened to Sheehan the other day, didn't you?
I sure the fuck did.
Hey, and they
it's like sometimes listening to Sheehan is like listening watching Holiday Inn Express.
Hold on. This I've known. They played at 3 different arenas. By the way, they played at Richmond, the Norfolk Scope, and the Hampton Coliseum, which is in Hampton Roads. But I knew that. And to answer their question, because they didn't know that, the Scope is still open. Hampton Coliseum is still open. You actually pass Hampton Coliseum on your way to Virginia Beach if you're on 64. It's right there. They're all old stadiums. There's nothing special about them except for the fact that they do draw some rowdy-ass crowds for whatever events they have because old stadiums do that.
Didn't you say they moved them because they, I think a football team or some other team was coming here, and they didn't want both of them to be in the same state, so they moved them to Virginia. There's some crazy stuff, man. Yeah. It's like a football team. It was Baltimore. It's a Baltimore team coming here.
Oh, it was the Bullets.
Yeah, the Bullets. Yeah, they
the
wanted
Bullets
the same place, so they moved them
to DC, and they play at Uline.
They moved them. Y'all should never change the Bullets name.
No, it's
I agree.
Still hard.
I still call them the Bullets.
Yeah, but
it's been 20 some years.
So that's why I think over time people will eventually gravitate to the
Bro,
Commanders.
the Wizards is the worst name in history. Bro.
It is the worst. It's up there.
It's horrible.
It's worse than the Pelicans, and the Pelicans is
I
terrible.
take that back. The Pelicans.
Pelicans,
the Pelicans might be worse. The Pelicans might be worse. I take all that back. It might be a
every
worse
time
than
I hear Pelicans,
Utah.
I just want to put a gun in my mouth.
Than a Utah keeping the name Jazz.
Yeah,
like that's fucking stupid. Like give New Orleans their name back, bro.
I know.
The Pelicans.
They gave Charlotte their name back.
Right. Give New Orleans their name back. We need to start a petition for that.
New Orleans.
Who co-signed that? Like, he was like, "Ooh, Pelicans. That would sound nice." No.
Who co-signed the Wizards? Man, they let the fans pick. What right mind would fans want to? We want to be the Wizards. They said the fans took it, but yeah, Mark. Now we're getting into terrible sports names. But
yes.
The Guardians is terrible.
Yes.
Man, it's not worse than the Pelicans, man.
Yeah.
It's not worse than the Pelicans.
Guardians sucks.
Back to football. Roger says we're being built to either punch them in the mouth with smash mouth and kick them in the teeth, take them to the woodshed and spread them out with speed and burn them deep. Thump and bomb offense. Yeah.
I don't want to ever read that out loud again. I'm afraid that
it's okay.
National security.
The offense is looking good. And having a quarterback under center that's a franchise quarterback that can do the routine things routinely. I'm talking about it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches. Go get it. A normal quarterback does that. You sneak Taylor Heineke off the 2-hole, he's getting stuffed because he's so small. Like Carson will get those plays, and it will be it's going to be fun. I think we're going to be the offense might be the actual. It's going to be good to watch. We're going to really get to see if Scott Turner is who we think he is or not. You know, I'm interested.
They are who we thought they were.
Exactly. They are who they thought they were. Well, Denny Green, right?
Rest in peace.
You want to crown them and crown their ass.
He was coaching the Vikings at the time.
No,
Cardinals. Okay.
They played the Bears.
He'd been the Vikings coach for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look. It's weird because and maybe I think a lot of this is actually an old stereotype that has just carried along too long. This is a team that's being built for speed everywhere, even on defense. Speed. Cole Holcomb is a swift linebacker. Jamin Davis, fast. All right. Your ends, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, fast, quick guys. All right. Now, in the middle, defensive tackles, hey, we're not going for speed. We're just going for strength. And we got 2 strong guys there.
3.
We drafted a safety who's got 4.3, 4.4 speed as well. It just feels like they're really trying to build this team all around for speed. And that's something that we really have not had in abundance in a long time.
And then we got
I think that this also shakes the stereotype. The stereotype has only been Redskins, power football, because everyone remembers John Riggins. We forget that even when Riggins was running back, he was in the same backfield as Joe Washington. He had Art Monk, a young Art Monk, and Charlie Brown, and guys like that, Gary Clark, Ricky Sanders, who are all speed guys out there. So that's what makes an Air Coryell offense go, by the way. Teach you all something.
Let's hope so. I hope so.
Air Coryell offense requires speed at the receiver position because you need to be able to get open deep. Without the long pass, it does not work.
Speed and precision.
Dan Fouts about that shit.
Speed and precision.
Speed kills.
And I think that's where we're heading with the lack of the big body type of Drake London, Cam Sims type players. This is exactly what they're building. We said it before. I'm not going to say the name, Dev, because I still think we can capitalize off it. So don't say it. I'll say it offline because it's going to be funny. But we have a name that we like. I think we're gonna brand our wide receivers. We're not going to say it yet, but it's fitting. It's fitting, and maybe we'll make some T-shirts off of it or something. That's what we'll do. We'll put their names on there. We'll put like some big head stick body with big heads on there, and we'll all start to wear it. That will be funny. Don't say it, Dev. I know you want to say it. Don't say it. You're muted. It's
I don't say it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Scott has no excuses.
He
has to be creative. I knew I could come up with some formations. He is being paid a bunch of money, so like Doc Walker says, results must have them. Yeah, I was on Declassified WFT last week with Doc Walker, and he's like, I don't care about none of that stuff. Show me. You can be the greatest team in the world on paper, but show me. But hey, in reality, OTAs and mini camps and practices, you guys know this. They're designed for the offense to succeed. You can't hit. So the defenders are already at a disadvantage, right? I'm not crazy to think that.
That's not what Anthony Armstrong said.
No?
Remember, he said they for the defense because they know what you're going to run.
Right.
That's true. They do know the playbook. I guess they do know the playbook. Marcus says he's intrigued with the undrafted free agent defensive back Will Adams from Virginia State.
Yeah,
that's a really good pull, Marcus, because he is an intriguing guy, and I think he finds a way to sneak his way onto this roster because that's a guy who did not receive the burn because he went to Virginia State, but he's got some talent. He's definitely got some talent. You know, he's like a Jimmy Moreland type talent, kind of a ball hawk. I'm interested to see what happens with him.
I mean, because right now, cornerbacks, we got Fuller, St. Just, Trapke. Christian Holmes is listed as the fourth.
Not Danny Johnson?
They have Will Adams listed as a safety. This is ESPN. Cam Curl at strong, Jeremy Reeves behind him, Farad Gardner behind him. Free safety, they got Bob McCain, Percy Butler, Derek Forrest, and Will Adams. That's the ESPN depth chart, by the way.
I think ESPN is running us with a straight 4-3, and that's a mistake.
And they are. That is exactly what it says, 4-3.
If you run us on a 4-2-5 hero back formation, that whole depth chart changes.
Depth chart.
There you go. That's the name of our backups, the depth chart.
Yeah,
because they come in and kill.
But I think David Mayo is going to be on the outside. That's going to be the guy. I think he was getting the reps on the outside. I know Dev's not too happy about that. It was Cole's the guy. I think Cole is they're going all in on Cole Holcomb.
Cole,
Man,
Mayo.
We got the worst linebacker core in the entire NFL.
They're going all in on Cole Holcomb, man.
Cole,
I don't know.
Mayo, Jamin.
Man, I like Cole Holcomb. I don't want to bash him. I like Cole Holcomb. I don't think he's better or nothing, but I just don't think he's a Mike.
Jamin's a beast too, man. I got a picture with him. He looked great. Marcus says we do need another linebacker and defensive tackle. Will mind kicking the tires on Jalen Smith. I'm wondering why is he still even available?
Why is Hightower still available? Get that motherfucker.
Why is Ryan Kerrigan still available?
I know why Ryan Kerrigan's still available. He's old and 50. Slow.
Yeah.
He's 100 years old.
Marcus said Mayo is terrible.
Just like real Mayo.
Hey now.
Mayo. Mayonnaise is a staple on sandwiches. I don't care
Dukes, Mayo.
I like Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip's good. I'm not gonna
lie. Miracle Whip's just a different version of mayo, isn't it? Is imitation mayo?
No, it's like salad dressing.
Yeah. Miracle's better.
We'll have to have this discussion with Keith because Keith is a big Miracle Whip guy. We'll have to say this for a top 5 Tuesday of condiments or some shit. Top 5 condiments. There you go. See which ones come to the top.
Let's see here. I'm looking at Dante Hightower. He started 15 games last year.
That's why it was ill, dog. You need to get
64 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 pass defense. Wasn't particularly productive, but
she's more productive. What our middle linebacker did.
We didn't have a middle linebacker.
Right, exactly.
We had 2 nickel backers.
We had what's the name back there? What's his face? They don't team no more. Bostic, yeah.
He's gone, man. He gone.
Right, I'm saying his stats was terrible.
Yeah. Man, I hated that dude. Although you remember that video in college because at UF, man, he was kind of a beast at Florida. He laid out
Bridgewater, wasn't it?
Lamar.
Yeah, he did.
Louisville.
Yeah, but we won that
Laid
game.
him out.
I think we won that game.
You probably did. It's just everyone focuses on that play for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Lamar had like 5 touchdowns, I think. Something stupid.
Yeah, he did.
So.
Well,
Hold
fellas,
on here. Where is Jonathan Bostic these days?
Probably on the podcast somewhere.
I'm trying to see. Hold on, because he got hurt last year.
Yeah,
seems to be the game.
I mean, I never thought he was bad enough not to be on the NFL team. I just didn't think he was starting Mike. I thought he was terrible in coverage, but he was very adequate against the run.
Yeah, he was really bad in coverage. I mean, a lot.
Yeah,
Don't give us all of our linebackers were terrible in coverage.
If this was 1990, if this is like 2005, Bostic would be the way he plays would be efficient for the NFL then. But to now, you got to be able to run with tight ends.
That's the thing. And tight ends are so athletic these days.
Right.
You got to be able to do it.
And not just jump in the zone. You got to be able to carry. And that's what Holcomb cannot do, man. He's good at getting in his spot, man. He's a disciplined player. He'll cover the run. He doesn't make a lot of crazy mistakes. But the problem is, man, like you put him at middle linebacker, he's going to carry somebody over the middle and carry him into another zone, man. That dude can't do that. He doesn't do it very well at all. If you just throw it toward him, he'll make a play, dog. We've seen that. You throw in the seams, he'll make a play. In a flat, he'll make a play, dog. I'm not saying he's not garbage, but why would you settle for that as your starting middle linebacker? Yeah. I mean, I would have rather let Jamin Davis do it, man, because his mistakes were knowledgeable. Like he didn't understand. They weren't physical. Right, they weren't right. Physical. He wasn't limited by his abilities. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't know. I would rather just let him run again, and maybe he's better than versus give it to Holcomb. Holcomb had 3 years to play Mike here, and he didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
Right, so I'm like, it just seems stupid to me. Go get a fucking Mike, man. You got $12 million you just got back. Unless you're going to sign Terry with it, go get fucking Hightower or somebody. They can play Mike. Who cares if the motherfucker on the
I think Landon's coming off the books next week.
June 1st. Yeah, I thought it was June 1st.
Or was it June? No, it was June 1st. So that's an extra. We're up to $18 million or $18 million in total cap room, I think.
Man, go get a Hightower, man. And worst case scenario, he's a good leader in the locker room, man.
Yeah. And, well, maybe that was the extra. That was the extra kicker we were looking at for Terry. I don't know. We'll see.
Just a thought process here. What would you think about putting like a William Bradley King? He's listed as an outside linebacker now.
No, man. Enough experimenting. Quit putting other dudes in other places, man.
He's been on the roster for 3 years. It'll be his third season.
Just get a fucking Mike, bro. How hard is it? Get a dude that's a professional middle linebacker, man. That's played middle linebacker since fucking high school. Go get a dude that plays.
For show over, I don't know. For show over, I don't know. Right?
Right.
That's what we need.
Right, man.
Hey, fellas. Well, let's get ready to shut this one down. You guys got any shout outs before we? Dev, you got any shout outs before we? Part ways.
Shout out to The Boys, which is started. I've watched the first 3 episodes already. Very awesome. Shout out to Obi-Wan, which I love, even though
I gotta watch the 3rd episode. I haven't only seen the first 2. I haven't seen the 3rd one yet.
It's dope, man. It's dope. And something else I saw. I can't remember it. Wow. But shout out to movies and Netflix, man. Thank y'all for putting out good entertainment. There's a lot of things coming out. New fucking Game of Thrones prequels, Lord of the Rings, all kinds of stuff's coming out, man.
That's right.
And Miss Marvel. We'll see all
Miss Marvel. Hey, we got a lot of stuff to tide us over in between football because the next scheduled thing is June 14th through after this week. I think there's a camp next week, 6th to the 8th, and then there's another mini camp the 14th.
It's mandatory. Something's mandatory. You're gonna say
one of those is mandatory. I'd have to look it up.
Marcus said
Shaka giving a shout out
outside linebacker.
No, he cannot.
Right.
He is a defensive end. Everybody thinks because he's under 2, he's like 250. Oh, he can play outside linebacker. No,
but wouldn't you rather him play it than fucking Mayo?
I'd rather look. They actually have Bradley King listed as an outside linebacker.
Would you rather want him play it?
Have him do that.
What's the guy we just picked up? Unrestricted free agent linebacker. He's a Mike, actually, right?
So there's OTAs this week through tomorrow. 6th through the 8th is the third round of OTAs, and then mandatory mini camp is 14th through the 16th of June. So after that, it's training camp. Word on the street, they're back in Ashburn. They're not going to Bon Secours down in Richmond. Unofficial. We'll see what happens. If it is in Ashburn, hopefully we can get another invite. I know, Dev, you're kind of far, but maybe Phil and I can get out there and go watch some training camp.
Yeah, the way these gas prices are, man, I ain't making it.
$98 to fill up my truck today, bro.
This is why I drive a fuel efficient car.
Oh
Man, Phil drives a Prius and he's 6'5". Just let everybody know that.
I drive something smaller than a Prius, buddy.
Jeez,
I
a skateboard? Because that's
I drive. Listen to this, all right? So I have a Mustang convertible. That was mine and my dad's purchase. But I have my daily is a 2016 Nissan Versa, which
That's
is
fair.
a subcompact.
That's a baby mama mobile, but yeah.
But
probably gets like 50 miles to the gallon.
I have a baby daddy.
You got to you have to wind it up before you get in there. Or?
Let me tell you something. All right, I bought this car brand new, 30 miles on it. All right, in 2016. I got it as they were doing clearance. So I only paid $170 a month on it. Paid it off early, so I own it free and clear.
There you go.
And the beauty of it is that I have had that car for 6 years. I'm now over 170,000 miles on that thing, and
Look at you.
The only real repairs I've had to do to it is I did have to replace the clutch and the flywheel.
How much that cost you?
About $1,400 combined. I had to do it 2 separate times. But that's $1,400 worth of actual repairs I've had to do to this car in 6 years, 170,000 miles. And the only reason I had to replace the flywheel is because I had to basically do the car equivalent to a helicopter doing 110% power launch up a hill in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Nice.
I think the tornado messed up. I have to get a windshield wiper hole like unit thing done again because mine keeps stopping. Ever since the tornado came, man, my windshield wipers were bent like this, and I unbent them, and now every now and then they will stop just going. So that's
you probably do have to get that fixed.
Probably like $400, man. I just been rain-exing it.
Well, the other thing I will say this: I already know what my next purchase is going to be once car prices stop being $6,000 over sticker.
Yeah,
I am getting a Ford Maverick.
It's good trucks, man. I like them.
I'm getting a Tesla, son.
No, I need something with a bed. Look, I got a compliment. Shout out to the guy who gave me this compliment.
Man, we can do it, Marcus.
Huh.
Do it.
Shout out to the guy who gave me this compliment, which is Tor, who is the executive producer of the Chad Duke Show. Shook my hand, and he goes, "Jesus Christ!" He says, "I'll bet you know at least 2 different types of wrenches." You have to realize Tor played offensive line for the University of Rhode Island, and he's 6'5" and well over 300 pounds. And I had a grip on his hand. He's just like, "Good Lord."
Hey, Marcus, we can make that trip, man. But I drive a Hummer. I'm not driving that thing to Virginia or wherever the fuck this place.
He's down near you. Remember?
Yeah, he's in Louisville. I'm talking about if we both.
He said Marcus drives.
We can link up and we can drive. I was like, I'm not driving this Hummer to no Virginia. Fuck that. Look, I work literally like I have to be at work at 6. I leave here at 5:50 and I get there early. You know what I'm saying? That's the longest distance I'm willing to drive. Well,
now you know why I had a fuel efficient car. I used to drive over 50 miles one way to work. I don't do that anymore, but when I bought the car, I did.
No way.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy OT. He's in my motorcycle club. No, he passed away earlier this week.
Oh yeah,
motorcycle accidents, man. It's extremely sad, but shout out to my brother OT, man. Rest in peace. This one's for you. It's tough. He was a really good friend, like a brother. So that's my shout out, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, OT.
Rest in peace. Yeah, that's right. But hey, we thank everyone for listening out. Other shout outs, Marcus, Edlin, always tuning in, man. We love you. Roger, thank you very much. Josh Kirby, thanks for stopping by. Greg Delaney, ref the district. Nathan Trevin Stoner, good friends of the show. Thank you very much. And yeah, well, I'll probably be tuning. We'll probably doing this one next week from. I'll be in El Paso next week, so I don't know how the hotel internet's going to be, but maybe we'll make an attempt. And
I may not be here because I will be Thursday night. I'll be driving to Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston's very nice. I commend you.
I'm about to find out. Never been. I've been to Myrtle Beach. I've been to Savannah. Charleston's exactly in the middle. Never been.
I heard they had dope ass strip clubs in Charleston.
Yeah, well, I got my 16-year-old son with me, so that ain't happening.
Charleston's nice. It's a very laid back southern setting. You know,
it's low country. I love everything I've heard about the low country. So I'm excited.
Nice. All right, fellas. Well, hey, this has been a good one. Hey, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, please go like and subscribe to the channel. We're growing every day. We're trying to take this stuff to the next level. And if you also like some non-Commanders content, please go check out our top five Tuesday content. We've hit video games, theme songs, villains, sports movies, you know, just something to pass the time through the off season. So just trying to spice it up, mix it up for everybody. So if you like it, go check it out. Hey, we love you guys, and we'll see you next time. And as always, peace and hail.